Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jai Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Jaya Nitya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Nitai Sachinandana Gaura Hari Jaya Prabhupada 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 Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parijakacharya Stotra Shatashi Srimati Srivange Shilai Srimati Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki
Jai
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय नमचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की
जय
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
जय
वृंदावन धाम की जय मथुरा धाम की जय गंगा माई की जय यमुना माई की जय तुलसी देवी की जय भक्ति देवी की जय सामवेद भक्तवृंद की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द असेंबल्ड डिवोटीज हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Guru and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine. Nirvishesh Shunivadi Paschata Deshakarine. Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Krishne Matirastu. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
वासुदेवाय
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 11, which is the Vishwarup Darshan Yoga, universal form, and then text 29 to 33. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Yeah, so the 5 verses. So the verse 29 is, you'll read. Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patanga. Yatha pradiptam jwalanam patanga. Vishanti nashaya samruddha vega.
विशन्ति नाशाय समृद्धवेगा
Tathaiva nashaya vishanti lokas.
तथैव नाशाय विशन्ति लोकाः
Tavapi vaktrani samruddha vegaha.
तवापि वक्त्राणि समृद्धवेगाः
So word by word, yatha,
यथा
as,
as
pradiptam,
प्रदीप्तं
blazing,
blazing
jwalanam,
ज्वलनं
a fire,
a fire
patangaha,
पतङ्गाः
moths,
moths
vishanti,
विशन्ति
enter,
enter
nashaya,
नाशाय
for destruction,
for destruction
samruddha,
समृद्ध
with full, vegaha,
वेगाः
speed,
speed
tatha eva,
तथा एव
similarly, nashaya,
नाशाय
for destruction, vishanti,
विशन्ति
are entering,
are entering
lokaha,
लोकाः
all people, tava,
तव
your, api,
अपि
also, vaktrani,
वक्त्राणि
mouths, samruddha vegaha,
समृद्धवेगाः
with full speed.
with full speed.
Translation: I see all people
I see all people
rushing full speed
rushing full speed
into your mouths
into your mouths
as moths dash
as moths dash
to destruction
to destruction
in a blazing fire.
in a blazing fire.
So basically in this verse, Arjuna is continuing to describe what he is seeing in the universal form. And we have seen in the previous verses, he has been describing about the universal form, which is gigantic. It has no beginning, no middle, no end. You can see all the different demigods and everyone within that form. And now Arjuna is saying that he's seeing that all this, it's an interesting metaphor, simile that is given here. Arjuna gives the example of the moths going into the blazing fire. So moths are attracted to the fire, and then they just dash onto the fire and then die. So this is, and in a way, it's a very interesting example of our situation in this material existence. So the whole material existence is made in such a way that we as living entities, we have unlimited desires. Akama sarva kamova, sarva kama. So we have got lots and lots of material desires, and in order to satisfy the material desires, we need to be in the material world. We cannot be in the spiritual world when we have material desires. So the only place where material desires can be fulfilled is in the material world. So this is the unfortunate situation in this. So when we identify very strongly with only the bodily existence, not understanding that the real existence is based at the level of consciousness. So how do we know that the real existence is based on the level of consciousness? We know that because we can see it on a practical basis. And we have given this example many times. The example is that of the person, me as a living person and me as a dead person. The body exists. Just the moment when I die, that body is still existing. When the moment I was alive and when the moment I die, the same body is existing in both the moments. So what is it that is distinguishing me as a living person and me as a dead person? It is the consciousness. So this understanding is extremely important, that we are pure consciousness. Pure consciousness, pure awareness is an existence where there is only awareness. There is nothing else. So when consciousness comes into existence, it is based on something. Like for example, I am conscious of this lamp that is here. I'm conscious of this room that exists here. I'm conscious of the people here that is existing. So whenever I talk of consciousness, it is in association of something. But when we talk of awareness, awareness is pure. Awareness means that is what we are. So there is a statement in the scriptures which is called I am Atma Brahma. So that means this consciousness is actually awareness. So basically, when I get a particular body, I am conscious of that particular body, and I think that this bodily existence is the only existence. So this, when I think that the bodily existence is the only existence, that is ajnana. That is the ignorance. So that's why that's why Krishna says, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadhami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. So buddhi yoga means the intelligence through which I can understand my original nature as an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. That Krishna says, Mama eva amsha jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. That all the living entities in this whole universe are my eternal part and parcels. So that means at no point in time we are separate from Krishna. So even someone who is probably in the situation like Duryodhana and his associates, they are in a very, unfortunately, very sinful kind of existence. They are in arrogance. They are causing trouble to everyone without any intent, like unnecessarily causing harm to everyone. So all that sinful activity, even someone who is in the category of Duryodhana or his associates, even they are eternal part and parcels of Krishna. So this is the wonderful nature of. So why is it that they are in that situation? They are in that situation because they chose to be in that situation. So this is where everyone is a part and parcel of the Lord, but depending on what our attitude is. Krishna actually says, he says that samoham sarva bhuteshu. Krishna says that I am equal to everyone. So one of the examples that is given is that of the rain. Okay, rain falls on a fertile land, you get nice crops out of fertile land. Same rain will fall on the rock, nothing can grow on the rock because the rock is not capable of absorbing that and and producing the crops. So exactly in the same way, the costless mercy of the Lord is falling equally on everyone. There is, just like the rain falls equally on all the surface, when the rain is falling, it falls equally on all the surfaces. But when the land is fertile, it is able to grow the crops. Exactly in the same way, when we have this inclination to hear about Krishna, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna. So this inclination to hear about Krishna is very rare. Sudurlabha, it is called in the scriptures. It is very rare. Why it is very rare? Because Manushyanam Sahasreshu Kashchid Yadati Siddhaye. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad-Gita, like we have billions and billions of people in this planet Earth, for example, right? 8 billion people, if you want to say. Kashchid Yadati Siddhaye. Krishna says that among millions and billions of people, very few try to attain perfection, Siddhi. Siddhi means what? Siddhi is not some supernatural powers. Of course, sometimes it is considered as supernatural powers as well, like Ashta Siddhi, Anima, Laghima, Mahima, Prapti, Prakamya, Ishitva, Vashitva. These are all Ashta Siddhi. Hanumanji had the Ashta Siddhi. So, the supernatural powers is external. The real perfection is Amanitvam, Adambitvam, Ahimsa, Kshanti, Arjavam, Acharya Upasanam, Shaucham, Stharyam, Atma Vinigraha. These are the real perfection. How do we know who is a really perfect person? When we see the qualities. What are the qualities? Amanitvam. Amanitvam means humility. Adambitvam, having no pride. Ahimsa, non-violent. Kshanti. Kshanti is forbearance, having patience. Arjavam, simplicity. Acharya Upasana means having that inclination to render service to Guru. Shaucham, cleanliness. Stharyam. Stharyam is the senses are under control. And Atma Vinigraha. Atma Vinigraha is when the mind is under control. So this is perfection. So perfection is not like to a person who likes external grandeur. Perfection would mean that someone has got supernatural powers and they will show some magical powers and everyone will get attracted to the person. And then they'll say, he's a very great person. But real perfection is when, for example, someone who has been meditating for very long, they start getting these powers because of their focus in terms of meditating on the Lord. Naturally, all these power come to them. But then the real test starts happening then. When powers come to a person, how is the power going to be used? So if the person becomes very powerful, unfortunately what happens is with those powers, person can lose the goal of why they were meditating in the first place. So the goal of meditation, the goal of remembering the Lord is to just understand that we are eternal, that we are never born, we will never die, and we are always in connection with Krishna. That is the goal. So this was what gopis were in Vrindavan. The gopis, they were housewives. They had their own families. They were doing all the work that they needed to do. But in their mind, they were always fixed on Krishna. They were always thinking, what is Krishna doing now? So this is what, and that's why Krishna in one of the verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, Na parayeham. Krishna says that I'll be never able to repay you. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. He is actually the proprietor of everyone, everything. And he says that I am not able to repay you. Na parayeham nivrit samriddha samyujam swaswadhu krityam vibudhayu shapiva. So what he says is that because of your love for me, when Krishna is just playing the flute and then the gopis forget about everything and then just run after Krishna. So that is that attraction for Krishna. So this is the goal of the actual human form of life. Some way or the other, if we can have that love for the Lord. And it's not difficult. It's not at all difficult. That is the reason why the Lord comes into the material world. He does all those wonderful pastimes. Now, what is the reason he does those pastimes? So that we can focus our mind on those pastimes. And then when we focus our mind on Lord's pastimes, we are in a transcendental state of existence. Mam chayo avyavicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatite tan. Krishna says that. So basically, in the material existence, tribhir gunamay bhaver edi sarvamidam jagat. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad-Gita that this material existence is such that it is made up of the three modes of material nature. So there is sattva guna, which is mode of goodness, rajo guna, which is mode of passion, and tamo guna, which is mode of ignorance. So when we are having this inclination to engage in these discussions of Bhagavad-Gita, we are somehow or other getting into the sattva guna. And when we focus our mind totally on Krishna's pastimes, we actually go into Vishuddha Sattva as well. Vishuddha Sattva is purified mode of goodness. That is a platform which transcends all the three modes of material nature. So basically, when someone is in mode of goodness, they have this inclination to engage in this devotional service. When someone is in mode of passion, Sattvat Sanjate Jnanam Rajasa Lobham Evacha. In the mode of passion, it is mainly based on my existence as this particular body. So this particular body has got lots and lots of needs. And the whole focus becomes just satisfying this body. Everything else becomes immaterial to me. That is mode of passion. And then mode of ignorance means it is even more. Rajasa Lobham Evacha Pramada Moho Tamaso. It is mentioned in the scriptures. Mode of ignorance is like Prakrishta Rupena Mada. Mada means intoxication and very highly intoxicated. It means that, say, someone who doesn't even want to do anything. They just want to, if someone is, there are some people who say, my hobby is to just sleep. So unfortunately, they are mainly in mode of ignorance. Because in mode of ignorance, one is not doing anything at all. One is just like a stone, unfortunately. What would be a difference between a stone and a person who is sleeping? There's not much difference, because the stone is not doing anything and a person who is sleeping. It does not mean that one does not sleep as much as is required. So this is what Krishna says: Yukta hara viharasya, yukta swapnava bodhasya, yogat bhavati dukkha. So yukta karmasu kaushalam. So what Krishna is saying is that everything has to be done in moderation. Eating has to be done in moderation. Recreation has to be done in moderation. He doesn't say don't do recreation. Don't engage in entertaining activities. We, like as human beings, we have got all these different aspects to us. We have got a mental aspect, we have got a social aspect, we have got a spiritual aspect as well. But unfortunately, the spiritual aspect is totally left alone. Unfortunately, that's what is the current existence, but it is a spiritual aspect which is the basis of everything that we do. And that aspect itself, somehow or other, we are not inclined in. So that is a kind of unfortunate situation. So when we are discussing this particular verse, in this very beautiful example that Krishna has given is that of the moths going into the fire, like that all the living entities are going into the unlimited mouths of the universal form of the Lord. So this particular verse is indicating two things. One thing is about that battlefield of Kurukshetra, where all the warriors are actually being destroyed by the universal form of the Lord. Arjuna is just a medium. Arjuna and all the warriors are, in the end, we will discuss. The last verse that we discussed today, Krishna actually mentions that. He says to Arjuna that you become an instrument, O Arjuna. So this is one thing we understand. The second thing to understand here is that actually, so this world is called Mrityu Loka. This material world is called Mrityu Loka. Why is it Mrityu Loka? Because there is Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. There's constantly we get a particular type of body, and constantly that body has to be given up. So this is it's like an endless cycle of taking on bodies after bodies after bodies. And what is this resulting in? Unfortunately, nothing. Unless the human form of body, when we get human form of body, somehow or other, if we can remember the Lord, then that has got a meaning. And otherwise, it is just like meaningless existence, literally. It is, of course, for a person who is materialistically motivated, the meaning is in getting material things. That is what the goal is, and there is nothing wrong in that, because when we get a particular, the important thing is that whatever activities we are doing, yet mat karma krin mat parmo mat bhakta sanga varjita nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasa mameti pandava. And so what Krishna says is mat karma krin mat parmo. So whatever activities we are doing, if we do it as an offering of love to Krishna, then it becomes purified. Then in that state of existence, even if we are acquiring lots and lots of things, there is nothing wrong there. Because in the mind, we know that the real goal is to remember Krishna. And everything is coming because of Krishna. So when we are in that state of mind, then it does not matter. If a person is yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihina, yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. Very beautiful verse. Shankaracharya says in Bhagavad-Gita, a very beautiful verse. What he says is, yogaratova, someone might be fixed in yoga, like totally meditating on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Someone might be bhogaratova. Someone might be just enjoying the senses. Yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihina. Someone might be attached to having lots and lots of people with them and socializing. And someone might be attached to being alone. Sangaratova, sangavihina. So you've got different categories of people here, right? One is totally fixed on meditation and loving solitude, and another category is totally enjoying the senses and just socializing. It says, Shankaracharya says, yogaratova, bhogaratova, sangaratova, sangavihina, yasya brahmani ramate chitta. One whose mind is totally absorbed in Brahman, that is Sri Krishna, nandati nandati nandatyeva. Constantly they are in bliss. So it does not matter. The externalities does not matter. And that's why we should never judge any person, because we don't know what their connection with the Lord is. Like sometimes we might actually see that some person is extremely, externally they might seem like they are enjoyers or something, sense enjoyers, but we don't know what is there internally in them, how much they are connected with the Lord. And there is actually a particular story in Chaitanya Charitamrita as well, where one of the two characters are there. One character is a person who is very rich, and he's very rich, and he is attached to speaking Bhagavatam at the same time. So he's rich also, and he's also attached to speaking Bhagavatam. And there is another person who looks at this person, and because he is rich, he judges this person, and he thinks that he probably is not qualified as a pure devotee. But later he realizes that the externalities are not important. So this is really important to understand. The main thing is, what is a connection with the Lord, and that connection is unique to each and every one of us, and that's why it is always there are three categories of devotees that is mentioned. There is a Kanishtadikari, Madhyamadikari, and Uttamadikari. So Kanishtadikari is someone who is worshipping the deity of the Lord very nicely, but they do not know how to behave with different categories of people. That is Kanishtadikari. Madhyamadikari knows the different categories of, the Madhyamadikari knows that there is a Lord, Ishvara Tadadineshu, there is a devotee, and Balisheshu, there are innocent people, and Dvishatsu, there are envious people. So he categorizes one as a devotee, one as innocent, and one as envious. And then he behaves with them accordingly. But then there is what is it called? Uttamadikari. Uttamadikari is the topmost pure devotee of the Lord. What the pure devotee of the Lord sees is that everyone is engaged in the service of the Lord. That is the highest type of vision. So they do not see anything other than that everyone is engaged in service of the Lord. So when we, so this particular verse, what we are trying to understand here is that this constant cycle of birth and death is happening, but who is behind that? That is a universal form of Lord is behind that. And so basically every moment someone or else is dying. Ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam sheshas thavaram ichanti ata ascharya kim param. So there is this story in Mahabharata where the Pandavas are in the forest and then they are getting thirsty. So they have to go to a lake, and there is a yaksha sitting on the lake, and the yaksha says that only if you answer the question properly, when you drink the water, you will not get poisoned. So the four Pandavas, the Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadeva, they are not able to answer the question. Then Yudhishthira comes and Yaksha asks all the questions, and one of the questions he asks to Yudhishthira is, what is the most surprising thing in this world? So Yudhishthira answers the question. He says that ahani ahani bhutani gachanti yamalayam, that at every moment someone or other is giving up their body, dying. Sheshas thavaram ichanti atahashcharya kim param. But the remaining people think that, I have to live forever. What is more surprising than this particular thing? Because the whole unfortunate situation in this material existence is that I get a particular form of body, and then I get so much attached to this body and the extensions of my body that when the time to leave the body comes, I'm not prepared for that, because I think that one more thing I have to do. That never goes. But if in this particular moment, if I can just remember the Lord and say that, that this is like going into the universal form, that moment is like, this is what is mentioned here. Like everyone is going into the universal form, and every death is like that. So it's actually, in a way, it is. One is actually, this is like a wonderful movie. Literally, this existence is like that. It's like, so we are all eternal. We all our eternal situation is in relationship with Krishna. Somehow or other, we got this body, and when I get this body, I think that this bodily existence is the only existence, and then this film becomes a reality, but actually it is a film. So we are all playing some characters in a film, and until the time I have the desire to play particular characters, I will continue to get the roles, whatever roles I want. But once I know that, I have to stop the acting now, I have to go back to the real world, then we will be in a state of liberated position. So liberation is that we do everything that we need to do, but our mind is always fixed in Krishna. That is liberation. So interesting verse here about everyone going into the mouth of the universal form. Then next verse, Lalihyase grasamana samantal, Lalihyase grasamana samantal, Lokan samagran Vadanairjaladbhi,
Lokan samagran
Vadanairjaladbhi, Tejobhirapurya Jagat samagram,
Tejobhirapurya
Jagat samagram, Bhasastva Vograha Pratapanti Vishnu, Bhasastva Vograha Pratapanti Vishnu. So the word Leli Hyase, you are licking, Grasamanaha, devouring, Samantat, from all directions, Lokan, people, Samagran, all, Vadanaihi, by the mouths, Jwaladbhi, blazing, Tejobhi, by effulgence, Apurya, covering, Jagat, the universe, Samagram, all, Bhasa, Vasaha,
Vasaha,
race,
race,
Tava,
Tava,
your,
your,
Ugraha,
Ugra,
terrible,
terrible,
Pratapanti,
Pratapanti,
or scorching,
or scorching,
Vishnu,
Vishnu,
O all-pervading Lord.
O all-pervading Lord.
Translation is, O Vishnu,
O Vishnu,
I see you devouring
I see you devouring
all people
all people
from all sides
from all sides
with your flaming mouths,
with your flaming mouths,
covering all the universe
covering all the universe
with your effulgence.
with your effulgence.
You are manifest
You are manifest
with terrible,
with terrible,
scorching rays.
scorching rays.
So the word here is Pratapanti Vishnu. Vishnu. So Arjuna is addressing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has got the universal form in the Vishwarupa as Vishnu. Vishnu, one of the meanings of Vishnu is one who is situated everywhere. Vishanti Sarva iti Vishnu. Vishanti means one who enters into everything. That is Vishnu. So this is what, so we were talking about consciousness, right? So consciousness, so any object, the object has got a meaning because we have consciousness, that's why the object has meaning, right? Like if I'm dead, I'm not able to see anything, I'm not able to do anything. So nothing has got any meaning because I myself don't have consciousness. But because I have consciousness, when I see this particular thing, I know this is a book. Then I read Bhagavad-Gita as it is, then I know that this is Bhagavad-Gita as it is. So everything is coming based on my consciousness, and then there is mind and intelligence coming into focus, and the mind is thinking, feeling and willing. So these three things are done by the mind, and then the intelligence is trying to understand the things. So mind is mainly based on emotions, and intelligence is based on logic. So they actually say about the left brain and right brain as well. In terms of psychology, they say that the left brain is logical and right brain is emotional, something like that, something in that sense. So our whole existence is based on these perceptions, right? And here, all these perceptions are being formed because we are part and parcels of the Lord, because of the consciousness being an eternal part and parcel of the Lord. And that is what is Vishnu meaning here. So here, this particular verse, it is mentioning Leli Yase Grasamana Samanta. From all directions, that universal form is devouring everything. Lokan Samagran Vadanair Jwaladbhir. And all the people by the mouths. So the blazing mouths of the universal form is just taking all the people inside. So it's in a way, it is an interesting coincidence as well that, during this period, in this part of the world, they have the Halloween celebration as well. And it's what it is based on something which is very terrible and very frightening and things like that. And this universal form is indirectly also frightening Arjuna in a sense. So it's a good coincidence that has happened here. But this is what the universal form is, something that like Arjuna in the end, he says that no, please stop this. So he goes into that situation that he sees so much terrible things happening that he says that I had enough of this. Now show your. He actually says, show your Chaturbhuja form. So then Krishna shows the Vishnu form, the Chaturbhuja. And then the Dvibhuja, Muralidhara form, the original. And then Krishna actually says, he says that all these forms are not visible to everyone. This is what is. So the important thing here is that there is Divya Chakshu. There is a divine vision that is given because of which one sees it. And this is true in sense of our understanding of this world as well. So when we know that everything is coming from the Lord, then we'll see the Lord everywhere. Yomam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasya hamna pranashyami sachamena pranashyati. Krishna mentions in Bhagavad-Gita that one who sees everything in me and everyone in me, I never forget a person, and such a person never forgets me. So this is the divine vision, the Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So when the eyes are anointed with the salve of love for Krishna, Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. That particular saint sees the Lord within the heart constantly. Not only the heart, everywhere. Whatever sthavara jangama na dekhe tar murti. So it is mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that such a person does not see sthavara and jangama. Sthavara means the objects, that doesn't move. That is sthavara. Jangama means the objects that move. So the person who has got the divine vision does not see the objects and the people and the trees and the plants and the everything. He doesn't see the multiplicity. He sees that everything is Lord. In that sense. Maya tatam idam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina matsthani sarva bhutani na chaham teshu avastita. Krishna says that I am pervaded everywhere in the form of my energy. And so basically the internal and external energy of the Lord. So the Lord is there everywhere in the form of His energy. So just by knowing that this is energy of the Lord, immediately we can remember the Lord. One of the examples that is given is someone is given as a gift. So when we see the gift, we remember the person who was given the gift. so exactly the same way, aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. Krishna says that everything is emanating from me. I am the cause of everything. So how can one forget Krishna? Because everything is Krishna. So He is, and He has got His own original form as well. So that is the wonderful situation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is the verse 30. Then verse 31. Akhya hi me ko bhavanu krarupo. Akhya hi me ko bhavanu krarupo. Namastu te deva vara prasida.
Namastu te deva vara prasida.
Vijñātumiccāmi bhavantamadhyam.
Vijñātumiccāmi bhavantamadhyam.
Nahi prajanami tava pravrittim.
Nahi prajanami tava pravrittim.
So what is the word? Akhyahi.
Akhyahi.
Please explain.
Please explain.
Me.
Me.
Onto me.
Onto me.
Kaha.
Kaha.
Who. Bhavan.
Bhavan.
You. Ugra Rupa.
Ugra Rupa.
Fierce form.
Fierce form.
Namaha Astu.
Namaha Astu.
Obeisances.
Obeisances.
Te. Onto you.
Onto you.
Devavara.
Devavara.
O great one amongst the demigods.
O great one amongst the demigods.
Prasida.
Prasida.
Be gracious.
Be gracious.
Vijñātum.
Vijñātum.
To know.
To know.
Ichhami.
Ichhami.
I wish.
I wish.
Bhavantam.
Bhavantam.
You. Adyam.
Adyam.
The original.
The original.
Na.
Na.
Not. He. Certainly.
Certainly.
Prajanami.
Prajanami.
Do I know?
Do I know?
Tava. Your. Pravrittim.
Pravrittim.
Mission. Translation. O Lord of Lords.
O Lord of Lords.
So fierce of form.
So fierce of form.
Please tell me.
Please tell me
who you are.
who you are.
I offer my obeisances.
I offer my obeisances
Unto you.
unto you.
Please be gracious to me.
Please be gracious to me.
You are the primal Lord.
You are the primal Lord.
I want to know about you.
I want to know about you.
For I do not know
For I do not know
what your mission is.
what your mission is.
Okay, so so this particular verse, Akhyahi me ko bhavan ugra rupo. Ugra rupa, ugram viram mahavishwam jwalantam sarvatomukham narsimham bhishanam bhadram mrityor mrityum namamyaham. So that ugra is for Narsimha also that verse is mentioned. Ugram Viram Mahavishnu. So that is one of the prayers for Narsimha Dev. It says that he is because he's coming as a lion and is just roaring and is got really angered by Hiranyakashipu. So Ugram Viram, he is very powerful. Mahavishnu, he is Vishnu himself. Jwalantam Sarvato Mukham. Beautiful. Huh? So So that form of Narsimhadev is kind of quite similar to the universal form that Arjuna is seeing here. Except that the universal form is totally, the whole universe is engulfed in it. You cannot see anything other than the universal form. Whereas when Narsimhadev came, it was not universal form per se, but it was as ferocious as the universal form that was shown to Arjuna. So that is what is Narsimham Bhishanam Bhadram. So he is Bhishana. Bhishana means again very ferocious, but he is at the same time Bhadram, auspicious. He is ferocious and auspicious at the same time. Ferocious for whom? For the demons, like Hiranyakashipu. Auspicious for whom? For the pure devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. So Bhishanam Bhadram. And then beautiful, the last word, Mrityor Mrityum Namamyaham. He is the death for the death personified. So basically the biggest fear in this material existence is death, because I identify myself with my body and I think that this bodily existence is the only existence. So then when this body goes off, everything goes off. That is a material thinking. But when I am in the spiritual existence, I know that this is just a cloth. Krishna very beautifully gives the example. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. Vasamsi is like a cloth. Navani grananti naroparani. So Krishna says that just like one takes off the old cloth and puts on a new cloth, the living entity gives up the old body and puts on a new body. So this is the perspective of someone who has got that spiritual knowledge. Etan viditya yaprayati sa brahmana. It is mentioned in the scriptures that the real brahmana is a person who leaves the body with this understanding that I am eternal. So we never die. That is a real brahmana. That is Brahma Janati the Brahmana. One who knows Brahman is actually a Brahmana. Sometimes it's an unfortunate situation that we kind of consider that someone is wearing the thread and doing all kinds of samskaras. They are Brahmanas. They are Brahmanas externally, but real internal is like Vaishnava and Brahmana are someone who very clearly understand that this is external. My internal existence is eternal. So this is the real kind of existence. So here, that is what Arjuna is wondering here. He is talking about the Ugra Rupa, that wonderful form. Namastostu te deva vara prasida. Very beautiful verse here. So he's saying, I'm offering my respectful obeisances. Oh, fiery form one, and please become prasida, be gracious. So he's asking for graciousness. Vijñātum ichchāmi bhavantam adhyam nahi prajanami tava pravrittim. So what is happening here is Arjuna is totally awestruck. He's seeing the whole form, and then he's saying, he said, please be gracious. What do you want to do? Kind of thing. He's totally in a perplexed state. We hear the perturbed and all those words as well in the previous verses. So in that perplexed state, he's saying that please be gracious and tell what is the reason for this universal form. The strange thing here is that Arjuna himself asked Krishna to show the universal form. And now he is asking because he got so much, he didn't know what to say and what to ask. And now he's asking, what is the reason for your universal form, kind of thing. It's kind of interesting. So now Krishna talks in this verse. In the next verse, we do Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Kalosmi loka kshayakrit pravruddho.
Kalosmi loka kshayakrit pravruddho.
Lokan samahartum iha pravrittah.
Lokan samahartum
iha pravrittah. Ritepi tvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Ritepi tvam na bhavishyanti sarve. Ye avastita pratyanikeshu yodha. Ye avastita pratyanikeshu yodha. So what the word Shri Bhagavan Uvacha,
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha,
the personality of Godhead said,
the personality of Godhead said,
Kalaha,
Kalaha,
time,
time,
Asmi,
Asmi,
I am,
I am,
Loka,
Loka,
of the worlds,
of the worlds,
Kshayakrit,
Shrekrit,
the destroyer,
the destroyer,
Pravriddha,
Pravriddha,
great,
great,
Lokan,
Lokan,
all people,
all people,
Samahartum,
Samahartam,
in destroying,
in destroying,
Iha,
Iha,
in this world,
in this world,
Pravrittaha,
Pravrittaha,
engaged,
engaged,
Rite,
Rite,
without,
without,
except for,
except
except
for
for,
Api,
Api,
even,
even,
Tvam,
Tvam,
you,
you,
Na,
na,
never,
never,
Bhavishyanti,
Bhavishyanti,
will be,
will be,
Sarve,
Sarve,
all,
all,
Ye,
ye,
who,
who,
Avastitaha,
avastha,
situated,
situated,
Prati Anikeshu,
Pratyanikeshu,
on the opposite sides,
on the opposite side,
Yodha,
Yodha,
the soldiers.
the soldiers.
Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said,
Time I am,
Time I am,
the great destroyer of the worlds,
the great destroyer of the worlds,
and I have come here
and
I have come here
to destroy all people,
to destroy all people,
with the exception of you,
with the exception of you,
the Pandavas.
the Pandavas,
All the soldiers here,
all the soldiers here,
on both sides,
on both sides,
will be slain.
will be slain.
Right, so so this is a very interesting verse. Krishna himself is saying, Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravriddho. Lokakshayakrit pravriddha. Kshayakrit is destroyer. So basically, Krishna is saying that he is time itself. And what is the nature of time? The nature of time is that time, they also say that is a great healer. Because, very difficult, sometimes we pass through very difficult phases in our lives. But as time passes, that experience that we had, which was very difficult at that particular time, slowly it becomes a little bit more bearable. It doesn't go totally, but it becomes a bit more bearable. So this is a wonderful nature of time. And the interesting thing about time is that the time and space comes into existence in the material world. In the spiritual world, there is no time, there is no space. It is not possible to imagine in our current existence, because the only way we exist in this material world is based on time and space. We are in this particular space, then we want to go somewhere else. So that means, why is it based on time and space? Because I'm localized here. I'm localized in this particular body. But when we are in the spiritual world, there is katha ganam natyam gamanam api. It is mentioned. So it is mentioned that katha ganam, so every word that we speak is like a song in the spiritual world. Every step that we take is like a dance. That is what is mentioned about spiritual world. And every moment is like a festival. So that is the spiritual world. So why? Because in that spiritual world, there is no concept of, the time comes into existence when I get a particular body, right? So there's a date of birth, and from the time of date of birth, my time starts in this particular body. And when there's date of death, my time ends in this particular body. But then, because I have lots of desires in me, I get another body based on my desires. And very wonderfully it is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam about Bharat Maharaj. Bharat Maharaj was a very powerful emperor, and he was a very powerful sage as well. And he so generally there is this ashramas, right? Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. So earlier in those times, those ashramas were followed very nicely. So first 25% of the life is Brahmachari, next 25% is Grahastha, next 25% is Vanaprastha, and the last 25% is Sannyasa. It's a very beautifully arranged ashramas. Why? Because when we are in that frame of mind, we are preparing to understand our original nature. Otherwise, what is happening is, even until the last moment, I am attached to lots and lots of things. And that attachment is bringing me to my next body. So, interesting thing about Bharat Maharaj was that he was the emperor of the whole universe, but then he went to the Vanaprastha and Sannyas ashram. So he was in the Sannyas ashram. He was totally focused on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But somehow, what happened was, in the forest, he saw a fawn, the child of a deer, who was struggling without its parents. So he started taking care of that fawn, and he became so attached to that fawn that he was always thinking of that. So at the time of death, naturally, the fawn came to his mind, and he actually became a deer in the next birth. It's kind of amazing. So this person was in a state of bhava. Bhava means it is just one step away from prema. Prema is where one is totally liberated. One is with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So at that stage also, this attachment had an effect. It's kind of amazing. And but the interesting thing was, even in the body of deer, he understood that he was advanced. So he was kind of associating with all the advanced sages and all. He was going near those ashramas. And then in the next life, he became Jad Bharat. That was the third life. So Jad Bharat, in the life as Jad Bharat, what he did was, he acted as if he was a mad person, because he did not want to get attached to anyone. And he was, and that was his last birth in that sense. Like he got prema, Krishna prema in that birth. So this is a very interesting part, and why I went to all this Kalosmi. So when we are talking about the Kala, when we are talking about the time, it is based on our existence in this material world. But when we go into the spiritual world, there is no time. That does not mean there is no Krishna, because Krishna is personally there in his own eternal form. And the interesting thing about Krishna's form is that, he has got the Bala Gopal form, and he has got the Vamshidhara, like with a flute. Depending on what the inclination of different devotees are, they will eternally be engaged with that form of the Lord. So for example, you've got this Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. There are 5 kinds of rasas. Shanta rasa is generally not considered in the main rasas, but there is Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya. So Dasya rasa is where one has got this love for the Lord to serve him. So there is Dasya. Great example is Hanumanji for Shri Ram. Then there is Sakhya rasa, is like a friend of Krishna, Arjuna. Like Arjuna is like an eternal friend of Krishna. Then we have Vatsalya rasa, where Yashodamai, Nand Maharaj, Devaki, and Vasudeva, they are all having that paternal affection, maternal, paternal affection for Krishna. And then the Madhurya rasa is like the gopis and the queens of Dwaraka, like a partner of Krishna. So it's really wonderful, and each and every one of us has got an eternal relationship with Krishna. It is always existing. It's not that it is there sometime, it is not there sometime. It is always there. It's not like the material body that we have. The thing about material body is, I have this particular form at this particular moment. After 1 or 2 years, my form will be something else. Everything keeps on changing in the material. In the spiritual existence, everything is eternally blissful. So there is, it cannot be imagined in this material existence. The only way we can get closer to the spiritual existence is, let's chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra thrice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So when we are focusing on this sound vibration of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then a lot of things are happening here. The tongue is getting engaged, the ears are getting engaged, and when the tongue and ears are getting engaged, the mind is getting focused on the sound vibration. And when these senses are engaged in the service of the master of senses, Hrishikena, Hrishikesha Sevanam, bhakti ruchyate. That is called bhakti. And bhaktya tva ananya shakya ahameva vidho Arjuna. Krishna, he says, he will say in the end of this chapter, he says that if you want to know me, you can know me only through bhakti. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavanyaschashvi tatvata. So there is a jnana marga, there is a karma marga, there is a yoga marga, but all these margas are good, but they are not the marga to know Krishna. It is only through bhakti that Krishna can be known. And bhakti means, having that love for the Lord in his forms, whatever forms it is. So here, it's very interesting here. Krishna is saying that I am the time and I am destroying everything. So time is basically destroying everything. As time passes, things get destroyed, new things starts getting formed, again things get destroyed, again things get formed. The cycle continues. So that's what Krishna is saying here. And he says that everyone will be vanquished in this battlefield except for you, the Pandavas, because Krishna is personally protecting them. So that is what. Then the verse 33, Tasmat Tvamuttishta Yasho Labhasva, Tasmat Tvamuttishta Yasho Labhasva, Jitva Shatrun Bhungshva Rajyam Samriddham, Jitva Shatrun Bhungshva Rajyam Samriddham, Mayaivaite Nitaha Purvameva, Mayaivaite Nitaha Purvameva, Nimitta Matram Bhavasavya Sachin.
Nimitta Matram Bhavasavya Sachin.
So here, this particular verse, the word by word, Tasmat,
Tasmat,
therefore,
Tvam,
you, Uttishta, get up, Yashaha, fame, Labhasva, gain, Jitva, conquering, Shatrun, enemies, Bhungshva, enjoy, Rajyam, kingdom, Samriddham, flourishing, Maya, by me, Eva, certainly, Ete, all these, Nihataha, killed, Purvameva, by previous arrangement, Nimitta Matram, just the cause, Bhava, become, Savyasachin, O Savyasachi. Translation, therefore get up, prepare to fight, and win glory, conquer your enemies, and enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, O Savyasachi, can be but an instrument in the fight. So, very beautiful verse. See, this is the conundrum here. So, generally, people kind of think that, when someone is spiritual, they have to leave everything and they have to become a mendicant. They have to, of course, that is also one of the aspects of spirituality. But this is an interesting aspect of spirituality, right? Here, Krishna is saying here that Yasho Labhasva. He is actually saying that you earned the fame, Arjuna. So sometimes we might think that people who are famous, very rich, very famous, they maybe they are not as much connected with the Lord as someone who is totally renounced and living in a forest and just concentrating on the Lord. So this particular verse is kind of quashing that kind of thinking, because here what Krishna is saying is that Tasmat Tvam Uttishta. So you go out and you fight the war and you gain the fame, Arjuna, because you will win the war. You will win the war and you will get Jitva Shatrun Bhungshva Rajyam Samriddham. You will defeat all your enemies and you can enjoy this wonderful kingdom. You become famous. You enjoy the wonderful kingdom, and the next Mayai Vaite Nihitaha Purvameva. So all these things has already been predestined by me. So basically, the destiny of Pandavas winning in the battlefield of Kurukshetra is being ordained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why it is ordained? Because they were on the side of Dharma. So whenever someone is Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna Yatra Partho Dhananjaya Tatra Shrir Vijayor Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. So this is the last verse that Sanjaya says to Dhritarashtra. And what he says is, wherever there is Krishna, the master of all the yogis, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, wherever there is Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara. Partha is son of Pritha, son of Kunti, there is Arjuna, who is Dhanurdhara, who has got his bow and arrow in his hand. Tatra Shri. Shri is, you can say, as opulence. It can also mean beauty. Opulence and beauty. Shri Vijaya. Vijaya is victory. Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. And morality. So victory, Tatra Shri, victory, opulence and morality is 100% there. Where there is Krishna and where there is Arjuna. Why? Because the only reason for, say, Arjuna, for example, the Arjuna, his only reason for existence is to serve Krishna. That is his only reason for existence, as a friend and as a devotee. And Krishna himself is the Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Abhyuthanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Srijamyam. So Krishna personally comes when there is discrepancy in the execution of religious principles. So therefore, this particular verse is really very interesting. That somehow or other, if we can say that, oh Lord, all these activities are dedicated as an offering of love to you. When we do that, we become an instrument at the hands of the Lord. That is what is nimitta matram bhava. So when we become the instrument, then the Lord is in control of us. Directly, the Lord is in control of us. So one of the interesting thing is, we can, in this existence, we can either be in control of the Lord, or we are under the control of the material energy of the Lord. So these are the only two things. These are the only two things that can happen. Either we can decide to be controlled by Krishna himself, or we can decide to be controlled by his material energy. So that's why Krishna says in Bhagavad-Gita, he says that Devi Yesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. He says that my material energy is divine, Devi, and it is Gunamayi. Gunamayi means it has got these three modes of material nature. And it is very difficult to overcome this material energy. But he says, Mameva ye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. If someone surrenders onto me, what does this surrender mean? Surrender means that one knows that everything is Krishna's, and one acts with that basic foundation in mind. Then Krishna says that mayametam tarantite. I myself help that person to cross over this material energy. Otherwise, it is not, as a living entity, it is nearly impossible for us to directly cross the material energy, because our whole existence is, we have got this Brahma, Pramada, Vipralipsa and Karana Patva. The living entities have, Brahma is we have a tendency to commit mistakes. Pramada is we come under the illusion. Vipralipsa is cheating propensity, and Karana Patva is our senses are imperfect. So in the living entities, we have these challenges within us. So, but then when we actually directly hear Krishna's words in Bhagavad-Gita and try and delve deeper into what Krishna is saying, then we come to a point where we know that we are just an instrument in the hands of Krishna. And then, whatever happens is mercy of Krishna. We come to that platform. With one verse, I'll complete this now. There is one particular verse, it says, Tattenu kampam susamikshamano. Anukampa means costless mercy. So Tattenu kampam susamikshamano bhunjanam evatma kritam vipakam Hridva Vapurdhir Vidadhan Namaste Jivetayo Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhak. What that particular verse mentions is someone who always considers everything as a costless mercy of the Lord. It does not matter. I might be having billions of euros. That will be mercy of the Lord. I might not be having anything with me. That is also mercy of the Lord. So if someone is in that state of existence, where one considers everything as a mercy of the Lord, even the most difficult conditions. So what that particular verse says is, if someone is in that state of mind, when they, even in the most difficult conditions, they say that, oh Lord, it is your costless mercy because of which, this suffering has been lessened. I should have suffered thousands and millions of times more, but because of your costless mercy, it has been reduced. So if someone is in that frame of mind, he is the inheritor of liberation. That verse says that Tattenu kampam susamikshmano bhunjanam evatma kritam. So atma kritam vipakam. So actually this suffering would have been millions times more because of the activities that I have done. But you have reduced that suffering and you have made it very less. And if someone is in that state of mind, always, considering everything as the costless mercy of the Lord, Jivetayo Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhak. It is mentioned in that particular verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that such a person is actually the inheritor of actual liberation. So with this prayer that we can always somehow or other remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshayet. Thank you very much for listening. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. If there's any comments or questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, we can sing the Narasimha Pranam mantra. Okay. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste
Narasimhaya.
Praladadadaine.
Praladadadaine.
Hiranyakashiporvakshaha.
Hiranyakashiporvakshaha.
Shilatankanakalaye.
Shiratankanakalaye.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Ito Narsimho Parato Narsimho.
Yato yato yami tato Narsimho.
Yato yato yami tato Narsimho.
Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho.
Bahir Narsimho Hridaye Narsimho.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade.
Avataratamalabare Natham Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tanu Bhringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Avatara
Kamala-vare Nakam Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tanu Bhringa Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev
Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev Jaya Narasimhadev
Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari
Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya Narahari Jaya
वसुदेव भगवान की जय, प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठावतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। सर्वं श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु। कृष्णे मधुरस्तु। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.